Hello virtual employees, my name is Wayne Wilkie and I'm the Managing Director of Fresh Easy in New Zealand. We've been a customer since the start of 2019. Our current project is an automated, unattended retail store platform. It's a complex project bringing together RFID technology, inventory management systems, ERP systems, point of sale software, payment gateways, and store security systems. We're creating something that hasn't been done in the world before, so much so that in the new year we're going to be filing for a patent. We're incredibly excited about the potential, and so should Virtual Employee. Not only are we likely to be a long-term customer, possibly 3 to 5 years and beyond, but when this project has been successfully delivered, you will have the capability in-house to deliver many more and open up a market segment which, as I understand it, is a very new one to Virtual Employee. Unattended retail is a future of retail, projected to grow to beyond $15 billion in the next 5 years alone. So the revenue opportunity that this represents for Virtual Employee, I would suggest, is immense. These projects are long-term and require multiple team members. We have 2, and that could possibly grow if Amit has his way. The reason I'm putting forward Amit Kumar for Employee of the Year is he has been instrumental in us taking on this project and the significant risk it represented for us to do it with Virtual Employee. He spent hours of his time on calls with me, with technical people from different areas of the world in Europe and Australia before we'd even committed to the project. And his commitment and willingness to go above and beyond was a big part of the reason why I chose to trust Virtual Employee and take on the risk to ship thousands of dollars, US thousands of dollars of hardware to India. Amit also liaised with other departments to expedite the importation and get the project underway. And on that note, I must actually at this juncture take the opportunity to thank some other people who were also very, very important in us taking this project on. I hope I get all these names right. In HR, Nabanita and City, they helped us do things like get the insurance that we required, and it was actually, I wouldn't have taken on the project if we couldn't get it, because the risk to ship it, the equipment there would have been too great. They did that, and like Amit, they exemplified values that I associate with Virtual Employee. They were very customer focused. I don't know how often that's been done to arrange insurance for customers before, but they did it, and they went above and beyond like Amit did. In admin, Sunil Dylan, he and Amit worked together to get the hardware through customs, and Sunil was instrumental in that. And like Amit, he exhibited integrity, which is another value that I think Virtual Employee hold dear. And between Sunil and Amit, they showed integrity because I really just had to trust that the right thing was going to be done, and I wouldn't have known if it wasn't. And not only did they deliver what was promised, but they actually went above and beyond and managed to get the customs fees reduced significantly. So a big thank you to Sunil and also Amit. And also Muhammad Yunus and Vishal for helping coordinate everything behind the scenes, which once again I think shows another value in a virtual employee that I'm attracted to, which is the teamwork. Everyone works together to get the job done. So I guess in summary, why should Amit be Employee of the Year? Well, as I've just represented and working with his other team members, and before the project was even underway, I think he really shows the values that Virtual Employee hold dear. And in my conversations with many senior people there who I've spoken to, that comes across. So once again, customer focused. Amit is always looking for to do the right thing by the customer and get the solution. The can-do attitude, as I said, I mean, he was on calls before I'd even agreed to go ahead with the project. But we've also got to acknowledge here that our project isn't just any normal one. We're creating something that doesn't exist. So Amit's can-do attitude comes across in creating things that aren't always easy. Well, as I said, along with Sunil, Amit shows integrity every day I work with him, and that builds a lot of trust, which is so important when you've got a virtual staffing solution, because you're not there to see. You have to really trust, and the trust in the leaders in the business are so important. And actually, Amit's leadership, as I said, we have 2 team members. Shivam is the other one. Hi Shivam, if you get to see this. I never have once in calls with Amit and Shivam ever doubted that Amit is capable of leading him, and he seems to always be ahead of me. So Amit does a great job in briefing him and making sure he's focused and on track, and I think Shivam would attest to that. Also, above and beyond, as I mentioned before, Amit goes above and beyond all the time. He'll do whatever it takes to get the job done, and that's really what you have to do when you're delivering projects like this. The other reason why Amit should be Employee of the Year is really what he represents to your business. The work he's doing right now is building internal competence that's going to enable Virtual Employee to get its share of the investment in the unattended retail industry, which, as I said, in the next 5 years alone is going to be in excess of US 15 billion. So whilst you retain the likes of Amit, you're going to go from strength to strength. I just have no doubt. And I look forward to a successful future with Virtual Employee.